Let us begin by understanding the true nature of belief. Belief, my dear listeners, is not merely a fleeting thought or a hopeful wish. It is a state of consciousness, a living, breathing reality within you. When you truly believe, you are not simply entertaining a possibility. You are embodying a certainty. You are living from the end, experiencing in your imagination the fulfillment of your desire as an accomplished fact. Now, you may ask, Wayne, how can mere belief make everything possible? To answer this, we must first grasp the fundamental truth of our existence. Consciousness is the only reality. The world you perceive around you, with all its seeming solidity and permanence, is nothing more than an outpicturing of your own consciousness. It is a shadow, a reflection of the beliefs and assumptions you hold within. When you change your beliefs, when you alter the contents of your consciousness, the world has no choice but to conform to this new inner reality. It must, for there's no other power in the universe save that which beats within your own heart, that which resides in your own magnificent human imagination. Consider for a moment the things you currently believe to be true about yourself and your world. Perhaps you believe that success is hard to come by, that love is elusive, that abundance is for others but not for you. These beliefs, whether you're conscious of them or not, are shaping your experience at this very moment. They are the invisible architects of your life, constructing your reality brick by brick, experience by experience. But here's the wonderful truth, my friends. Just as you have accepted these limiting beliefs, you have the power to accept new, empowering ones. You have the God-given ability to choose your beliefs, to select the assumptions upon which you will build your life. And when you exercise this power, when you dare to believe in the fulfillment of your heart's desires, you set in motion forces beyond your wildest dreams. Let me share with you a principle that has the power to revolutionize your understanding of belief and manifestation. It is that the feeling is the secret. When you believe that something is possible, truly possible for you, you experience a distinct feeling. It is a feeling of naturalness, of rightness. Of course, this is mine. This feeling is not one of anxious hoping or desperate wishing. It is a calm. It is the feeling of one who knows that their good is already theirs, who understands that what they desire is already accomplished in the realm of infinite possibilities, waiting only for their acceptance to be made manifest in the world of form. To cultivate this feeling, to nurture this belief, you must make use of your imaginative faculty. For your imagination, my dear friends, is nothing less than God in action within you. It is the creative power of the universe, localized and individualized in you. When you use your imagination to create a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire, when you enter into that scene and experience it as real, you are exercising your divine prerogative as a co-creator with God. Let me give you an example to illustrate this principle. Suppose you desire financial abundance. The common approach would be to focus on the lack of money, to worry about bills, to stress about how to make ends meet. But this approach only perpetuates the experience of lack. Instead, I urge you to do this. Close your eyes and imagine a scene that implies your financial abundance is a present fact. Perhaps you see yourself confidently paying all your bills with ease. Perhaps you imagine a conversation with a friend where you casually mention your flourishing bank account, or maybe you feel the joy and freedom of making a significant donation to a cause close to your heart. Whatever scene feels most natural to you, enter into it fully. Feel the relief, the gratitude, the sense of security that comes with financial abundance. As you imagine this scene, as you feel the reality of it, you are planting a seed in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. This seed, nurtured by your belief, watered by your feeling of naturalness, will grow into your physical reality. Remember, my friends, your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience in the outer world. to your subconscious. They are one and the same. Now, some of you may be thinking, but never. I've tried to believe before. I've tried to be positive, to think good thoughts, but nothing changed. To this I sigh. Pleading surface-level affirmations are not enough. What is required is a fundamental shift in your state of consciousness. You must become the person who already has what you desire. You must live from the end. This, my dear listeners, is the art of assumption. When you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, when you walk and talk and think from the standpoint of your desire accomplished, you're aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. You are stepping into the role of the person you wish to be, and in doing so, you compel the outer world to reflect this new inner reality. Let me share with you a story that illustrates the power of belief and assumption. I once knew a man who had been unemployed for months. He had applied for countless jobs, gone on numerous interviews, but to no avail. With each rejection, his belief in his own employability diminished, and his outer world faithfully reflected this belief. One day, after hearing me speak on these principles, he decided to apply them. Instead of continuing to search desperately for a job, he began to assume the feeling of being gainfully employed. Each night, before sleeping, he would imagine himself driving to work, sitting at his desk, interacting with colleagues. He felt the satisfaction of a job well done, the security of a regular paycheck. Within 2 weeks, he received a call from a company he had interviewed with months ago. They had an opening and thought of immediately. He was offered the job on the spot, at a salary higher than he had initially hoped for. This, my friends, is the power of belief in action. When he changed his assumption, when he dared to believe in his employed state, the outer world rearranged itself to match his inner conviction. Now, I want to address a question that may be arising in some of your minds. You may be wondering, if everything is possible when I believe, does that mean I can believe in anything, and no matter how fantastic or improbable? Yes, absolutely yes. Remember, the world you see around you is nothing more than an outpicturing of consciousness. The laws that seem to govern it, the limitations that appear to constrain it, exist only because you have given them power through your belief. In the realm of infinite possibilities, which is the true nature of reality, there are no limitations save those you accept in your own mind. The only boundaries are those you draw with your own beliefs. When you truly grasp this truth, when you internalize it and live from it, you will understand that nothing, absolutely nothing, is impossible to you. Consider the great innovators and visionaries throughout history. These were individuals who dared to believe in possibilities that others dismissed as fantasy. They held fast to their vision, even in the face of ridicule and opposition. In doing so, they reshaped the world. They did not bow to the limitations of consensus reality. Instead, they used the power of their belief to bring into manifestation that which had previously been deemed impossible. You, my dear friends, have the same power within you. You have the ability to reshape your world, to bring into being experiences and achievements that others might label as impossible. But to do this, you must be willing to stand firm in your belief, even when the outer world seems to contradict it. You must be willing to walk by faith and not by sight, trusting in the invisible reality of your imagination more than the visible facts of your current circumstances. Let us delve deeper into the mechanics of this process. When you choose to believe in the possibility of your desire, when you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are actually shifting your entire state of consciousness. You are moving from one state to state of lack, or wanting to another state to state of fulfillment. This shift in consciousness is far more than a mental exercise. It is a repositioning of your entire being. It affects not only your thoughts, but your emotion, your energy, your very vibration. And as you maintain this new state, as you consistently occupy this new position in consciousness, your outer world must, by the immutable laws of creation, begin to reflect this shift. Think of it like this. Your consciousness is like a radio transmitter, constantly broadcasting a signal to the universe. This signal is composed of your beliefs, your assumptions, your dominant thoughts and feelings. The universe, like a cosmic radio receiver, picks up this signal and responds by orchestrating events, encounters, and circumstances that match your broadcast. When you change your beliefs, when you assume a new state, you're essentially changing the frequency of your broadcast. And just as surely as changing the station on a radio brings in a different program, changing your inner state brings about a different outer experience. Now, I want to address a common stumbling block that many encounter on this journey of conscious creation. Often when people first hear these teachings, they become excited and immediately try to believe in the biggest, most audacious desires they can imagine. While I applaud this enthusiasm, I must caution belief through belief is not something that can be forced or faked. You cannot trick your subconscious mind. You cannot fool the universe. If you try to believe in something that feels utterly foreign or impossible to you, you will only create inner conflict and frustration. Instead, I urge you to start with what I call the art of the possible. Begin by choosing beliefs that stretch you slightly beyond your current experience, but not so far that they feel completely unattainable. As you successfully manifest these smaller desires, as you prove to yourself the power of your belief, you will naturally expand your sense of what's possible. Your faith will grow, your belief will strengthen, and you will find yourself capable of assuming states that once seemed out of reach. Remember, my friends, this is not a race. It is not a competition. It is a journey of self-discovery, a process of unveiling your own divine nature. Be patient with yourself. Be gentle, but also be persistent. For with each belief you successfully embody, with each desire you bring into manifestation, you are expanding your consciousness and increasing your power as a deliberate creator. Now, let us address another crucial aspect of this process, the role of action. Some misinterpret these teachings to mean that belief alone is sufficient, that one can simply sit back and wait for their desires to manifest. While it's true that the inner work of consciousness is the most important part of the creative process, it does not negate the need for inspired action. When you truly believe in the possibility of your desire, when you fully assume the state of your wish fulfilled, you will find yourself naturally inspired to take actions that align with this new state. These actions will not feel forced or stressful. They will not come from a place of lack or desperation. Instead, they will feel natural, joyful, almost effortless. This is because when you are living from the state of the wish fulfilled, you are allowing your expanded consciousness to guide your actions. You are tapping into a wisdom beyond your limited ego mind. The actions you take from this state will be far more effective, far more aligned with the realization of your desire than any amount of frantic doing from a state of lack or need. Let me give you an example to illustrate this point. Imagine you desire a romantic partnership. You could spend your time desperately searching for love, going on countless dates, trying to force a connection. Or you could assume the state of being in a loving relationship. You could feel the joy, the companionship, the deep connection in your imagination. From this state, your actions would be very different. You might find yourself naturally engaging in activities you enjoy, radiating a sense of fulfillment and self-love. You might find yourself more open, more approachable, more authentically yourself. And in this state, you are far more likely to attract the right person into your life, often in ways you could never have planned or anticipated. This, my dear friends, is the dance between inner states and outer actions. When your inner state is aligned with your desire, your outer actions become a joyful expression of that alignment rather than a desperate attempt to fill a perceived lack. Now, I want to address a question that often arises when discussing the power of belief. What about other people? Can my belief change their behavior to override their free will? This is a profound question that touches on the very nature of our shared reality. Remember, my friends, that everyone in your world is you pushed out. They are reflections of your consciousness playing roles that correspond to your beliefs and assumptions. This does not mean they are not real or that they don't have their own consciousness. Rather, it means that your experience of them, your interaction with them, is shaped by your own state of consciousness. When you change your beliefs about someone, when you assume a new state in relation to them, you are not manipulating them or overriding their free will. You're simply shifting to a parallel reality where they behave in accordance with your new assumption. In essence, you are choosing to experience a version of them that aligns with your new state. This understanding has profound implications for all your relationships. It means that if you want to experience a change in someone's behavior towards you, the most effective approach is not to try to change them directly, but to change your own assumptions about them. As you hold steadfastly to this new assumption, as you live from the state where they are as you desire them to be, you will find your experiences with them transforming, often in ways that seem miraculous. Let's take this principle even further. When you truly understand that everything is possible when you believe, you begin to take full responsibility for your entire life experience. You recognize that every circumstance, every encounter, every event in your life is a reflection of your own consciousness. This realization is incredibly empowering, for it means that by changing your consciousness, you can change anything in your life. Are you experiencing financial lack? Look to your beliefs about money and abundance. You find yourself in unfulfilling relationships. Examine your assumptions about love and your own worthiness. Is your health less than optimal? Consider your beliefs about your body and its capacity for well-being. In every area of your life, you have the power to choose new beliefs, to assume new states of consciousness. And as you do so, as you consistently embody these new states, you will watch in awe as your outer world reshapes itself to match your inner convictions. Now, some of you may be thinking, this all sounds wonderful, Wayne, but how do I maintain this belief, this new state of consciousness when my current reality seems to contradict it? This, my friends, is where the real work begins. This is where you must exercise your spiritual muscles, where you must demonstrate your faith in the unseen reality of your imagination over the apparent facts of your physical senses. Remember, your physical senses show you only the effects of past beliefs and assumptions. They show you where you have been in consciousness, not where you are going. If you wait for your outer world to change before you change your belief, you will wait forever. You must have the courage to believe in the reality of your imagined state, even when your senses deny it. This does not mean you ignore your current reality or pretend it doesn't exist. Rather, it means you give more importance, more attention, more emotional intensity to your desired state than to your current circumstances. You acknowledge your present situation, but you do not give it power over your imagination. One powerful technique for maintaining your desired state in the face of contradictory circumstances is what I call living in the end. This involves creating a short, symbolic scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire and returning to this scene repeatedly throughout your day. For instance, if you desire financial abundance, your scene might be looking at a bank statement showing a large balance or shaking hands with someone who is congratulating you on your financial success. The specifics of the scene are not as important as the feeling it evokes. As you return to this scene again and again, as you step into it and feel it as real, you are reinforcing your new state of consciousness, strengthening your belief in the possibility of your desire. Another powerful tool for maintaining your belief is gratitude. When you cultivate a deep sense of gratitude for your desire, as if it were already fulfilled, you align yourself with the frequency of having rather than wanting. Gratitude is the feeling of your wish fulfilled. It is the emotional state of one who knows their good is already theirs. Practice feeling grateful for your desire throughout your day. Give thanks for it as you wake in the morning and as you lay down to sleep at night. Let gratitude infuse your entire being. For when you are truly grateful, you cannot simultaneously feel lack or anxiety. Gratitude and faith go hand in hand, each reinforcing the other. Now, my dear friends, as we delve deeper into this exploration of gratitude, of the power of belief, I want to address a common misconception. Many people, when they first encounter these teachings, believe that they must maintain a constant state of positive thinking, that they must never allow a negative thought to enter their minds. This is not only impossible but unnecessary. You are human, and it is natural for doubts and fears to arise, especially when you are stretching beyond your current experience. The key is not to eliminate these thoughts entirely, but to not dwell on them, to not give them power. When a doubting thought arises, simply acknowledge it, and then gently return your attention to your desired state. Think of it like this. Your mind is like a garden, and your thoughts are the seeds. You cannot prevent birds from flying over your garden, but you can prevent them from nesting there. In the same way, you cannot prevent every negative thought from crossing your mind, but you can choose not to nurture these thoughts, not to water them with your attention and emotional energy. Instead, focus on planting and nurturing the seeds of your desired reality. Water them with your attention, fertilize them with your emotion, tend to them with your consistent assumption of the state of wish fulfilled. As you do this, these seeds will grow strong, eventually crowding out the weeds of doubt and disbelief. Remember, my friends, belief is not a one-time event. It is not something you do once and then sit back and wait for results. Belief, true belief that makes all things possible, is a practice. It is something you cultivate daily, hourly, moment by moment. It is a way of life, a constant choosing to align yourself with the reality you desire to experience. As you embark on this journey of conscious creation, of living from the state of your wish fulfilled, you may encounter resistance from those around you. Friends, family, even your own habitual patterns of thought may seem to conspire against your new understanding. This is natural and to be expected. The world around you is accustomed to your old state of consciousness and may initially resist your attempts to shift to a new state. Do not let this deter you. Remember, everyone in your world is you pushed out. Their resistance is simply a reflection of your own doubts and fears. As you stand firm in your new state, as you persist in your assumption of your wish fulfilled, you will find that the world around you has no choice but to conform to your new consciousness. This persistence, this unwavering faith in the face of apparent contradiction, is what separates those who truly manifest their desires from those who merely wish and hope. It is the difference between those who live lives of miraculous achievement and those who remain bound by the limitations of their past beliefs. Now, let us address another crucial aspect of this process: detachment. Many of you, in your eagerness to manifest your desires, may find yourselves obsessing over the when and how of your manifestation. You may find yourself constantly checking for signs, anxiously awaiting the physical proof of your desires' fulfillment. But remember, my dear friends, attachment to outcomes is a form of doubt. It is an implicit statement that you do not truly believe in the reality of your desire. But if you truly believed, if you were living completely from the state of wish fulfilled, you would feel no need to anxiously await its manifestation. You would know with unshakable certainty that it is already yours. This is why I often say, live as though you have it. When you completely relax into the feeling of your wish fulfilled, when you can go about your day secure in the knowledge that your desire is already a fait accompli in the realm of infinite possibilities. You open the way for its swift manifestation in your physical reality. Detachment does not mean you don't care about your desire. On the contrary, it means you care so deeply. You believe so completely that you can readily and easily manifest your desires, that you can rest in the absolute assurance of its fulfillment. It is a state of peaceful expectancy, of calm certainty. It is the feeling of one who knows their good is already theirs and is content to allow it to unfold in divine timing. As you practice living from this state of calm assurance, you will find that your manifestations come about in ways that are often surprising and delightful. The how and when of your desires' fulfillment will often exceed your limited imagination. For remember, the infinite intelligence of the universe has access to possibilities far beyond what your rational mind can conceive. Your job is not to figure out how your desire will manifest. Your job is simply to assume the state of its fulfillment, to live from the end, and to allow the creative power of the universe to bring about its manifestation in the most perfect way. Now, I want to address a question that often arises as people begin to experience success with these principles. They ask Wayne, if everything is possible when I believe, does that mean I can manifest anything no matter how grand or seemingly impossible? And to this I say, yes, absolutely. Remember, my dear friends, the only limits that exist are those you accept in your own mind. The universe is infinite, and you are a divine being with access to all the power of creation. When you truly grasp this, when you fully embody this truth, you will understand that nothing, absolutely nothing, is beyond your ability to manifest. With great power comes great responsibility. As you begin to grasp the true extent of your creative ability, it becomes crucial to examine your desires carefully. Ask yourself, is this desire in alignment with my highest good and the highest good of all? Does it come from a place of love and expansion or from fear and luck? Well, you see, my friends, when you understand the power of your consciousness to shape reality, you also understand that you are responsible for everything you create. There is no one else to blame, no external circumstances to point to. You are the author of your life story, the creator of your reality. This realization can be both liberating and sobering. It means that you have the power to create a life beyond your wildest dreams, but it also means that if you are experiencing circumstances you do not desire, you must look within to find the source of these experiences in your own conscious. As you continue on this journey of conscious creation, of living from the state of your wish fulfilled, you will find that your desires themselves begin to evolve. As you experience the joy of manifesting your initial desires, as you prove to yourself the power of your consciousness, you will naturally begin to desire experiences of greater expansion, of deeper fulfillment, of more profound service to others. This is the natural evolution of consciousness. As you grow in your understanding and application of these principles, you will find yourself desiring not just personal gain, but the upliftment of all humanity. You will begin to see yourself not as a separate individual striving for personal success, but as an integral part of the cosmic whole, using your creative power for the benefit of all. And this, my dear friends, is where the true magic happens. When you align your desires with the highest good of all, when you use your creative power in service of love and expansion, you tap into a power beyond anything you've previously experienced. You become a channel for divine creativity, a vessel through which the infinite intelligence of the universe can express itself in ever more beautiful and harmonious ways. As we near the conclusion of our time together, I want to leave you with this final thought. The power to believe, to assume the state of your wish fulfilled, to live from the end is not just a tool for manifesting material desires. It is, in essence, your birthright as a divine being. It is the means by which you fulfill your highest purpose, express your truest self, and contribute to the ongoing evolution of consciousness. When you truly believe that everything is possible, when you live from the state of infinite potential, you become a beacon of light in the world. Your very presence inspires others to question their own limitations, to reach for their own dreams. Your life becomes a living testament to the creative power of consciousness, a demonstration of what is possible when one dares to believe. So go forth, my dear friends, with this knowledge burning brightly within you. Know that you are not bound by the limitations of your past, by the constraints of your current circumstances, or by the doubts of those around you. You are a divine creator, capable of reshaping your reality in accordance with your deepest desires and highest aspirations. Believe in the power of your consciousness. Believe in the power of your consciousness. Trust in the reality of your imagination. Live from the state of your wish fulfilled. For when you do, when you truly embody this state of being, you will find that everything, absolutely everything, is possible. The entire universe conspires to bring your desires into manifestation, often in ways more wonderful than you could have imagined. Remember, the feeling is the secret. Cultivate the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Nurture it with your attention, feed it with your emotion, protect it from the doubts and fears that may arise. As you do this, as you persist in this state, despite all apparent contradictions, you will watch in AA as your outer world reshapes itself to match your inner conviction. And as you experience success, as you manifest your desires and reshape your reality, remember to share this knowledge with others, not through preaching or proselytizing, but through living example. Let your life be a testament to the power of belief. Let your achievements inspire others to question their own limitations and reach for their own dreams. For in truth, my dear friends, when you understand and apply these principles, when you live from the state of your wish fulfilled, you become a co-creator with the divine. You step into your true power as a conscious, deliberate creator of your reality. And in doing so, you contribute to the ongoing evolution of consciousness, to the gradual awakening of all humanity, to its divine nature and infinite potential. So go now with this knowledge burning brightly within you. Believe in the power of your consciousness. Trust in the reality of your imagination. Live from the state of your wish fulfilled. For when you do, you will find that truly. When you believe everything is possible, the entire universe is yours to shape, to mold, to create in accordance with your highest vision. Remember, you are the operant power in your world. You are the one who decides what is possible and what is not. Choose wisely, believe fully, and watch as miracles unfold in your life. For you are, in truth, the very power of creation itself, individualized in human form. Embrace this truth. Live from this understanding and step into the magnificent, miraculous life. That is your divine birthright. Go forth and create. My dear friends, the world awaits your conscious command. Everything is possible when you believe. This is the truth that will set you free, the knowledge that will empower you to live the life of your dreams. Embrace it fully, embody it completely, and watch as your world transforms before your very eyes. For when you believe, truly believe, everything is possible.
You may wonder, what does it mean to do it alone? Is it a call to isolation? A rejection of the world around us? No, my beloved, it is quite the opposite. To do it alone is to recognize the divinity within you, to understand that you are the operant power in your world, and that all creation begins in the sanctum of your own mind. Consider for a moment the great masters throughout history. Did they not retreat into solitude to commune with the infinite? Did not prophets venture into the wilderness to receive their revelations? Even the Christ, in his moments of greatest significance, withdrew from the crowds to pray alone. This, my friends, is the essence of doing it alone, not in physical isolation, but in the realization that you and you alone are the author of your life story. Let us delve deeper into this concept. When I say do it alone, I speak of the inner work, the labor of consciousness that no one else can perform for you. It is the intimate dance between your imagination and the infinite possibilities that lie dormant within you. This dance, this sacred communion, can only be experienced in the privacy of your own being. Think of it this way. When you enter a dream at night, do you bring others with you? No, you enter that realm alone, and in that state, you are the creator, the director, and the star of your nocturnal adventures. Your waking life, I assure you, is no different. You are dreaming it into existence with every thought, every assumption, every inner conversation. But some of you might protest, surely we need others in our lives. Surely we cannot exist in isolation. And to this I say, of course, the outer world, the people in your life, they are all vital and beautiful parts of your experience. But understand this, they are not the cause of your experience, they are the effect. They are the reflections of your inner state, the manifestations of your consciousness. When you truly grasp this, when you internalize the knowledge that you are the operant power, you will see that all the help you need, all the love you seek, all the success you desire, it all begins within you. You do not need to manipulate others or beg the world for favors. You need only to adjust your inner state to align your consciousness with your desires, and the outer world will rearrange itself to match your vision. This, my dear friends, is the true meaning of doing it alone. It is the recognition that you are not a mere fragment in a vast, uncaring universe, but that you are the universe itself focused into this particular point of time and space. You are God in distribution, experiencing yourself through the vessel of your human form. Now, let us explore how this principle applies to your daily life. Imagine you desire a new job, a position that fills you with excitement and purpose. The common approach would be to scour job listings, to network feverishly, to plead your case to potential employers. And while these outer actions may have their place, they are not the source of your success. Instead, I urge you to do it alone. Retreat into the theater of your mind. There in that sacred space, see yourself already occupying that position. Feel the satisfaction of doing work that inspires you. Hear the congratulations of your colleagues. Experience the pride of your loved ones. Make this inner experience so vivid, so real, that when you open your eyes, you will be surprised to find yourself still in your current circumstances. This, my friends, is the art of assumption, when you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, when you live from the end as if it were already a reality. You set in motion forces beyond your conscious understanding. The entire universe conspires to bring about the conditions that match your inner state. But remember, this is not mere positive thinking or idle daydreaming. This is a fundamental shift in your concept of self. You are not trying to change things, you are changing the thinker. You are revising your own identity to match your desire. Let me share with you a profound truth. The outer world is dead. Yes, you heard me correctly. The world you perceive with your senses is but a shadow, a reflection of past thoughts and assumptions. It has no power to create, no ability to cause. It can only reflect what you hold in your consciousness. This may seem a stark statement, perhaps even a disturbing one, but I assure you it is the key to your freedom. For if the outer world is dead, if it has no power to create or cause, then you are liberated from its seeming constraints. You are free to create anew, to assume a new state of consciousness, and to watch as the outer world reshapes itself to match your inner vision. This is why I implore you to do it alone. For in the solitude of your consciousness, in the privacy of your imagination, you hold the power to reshape your entire existence. No one else can do this for you. No external force can grant you this power. It is your birthright, your inherent nature as a creative being. Consider the great inventors and innovators throughout history. Did they not first conceive their creations in the solitude of their minds? Did not every great work of art, every scientific breakthrough, every technological marvel first exist as a seed in someone's imagination? These individuals understood, perhaps intuitively, the power of doing it alone. But let us be clear, doing it alone does not mean you must physically isolate yourself from others. It does not mean you should reject help or collaboration when it presents itself. Rather, it means that you recognize that the primary creative act occurs within you. The outer actions, the physical steps you take, are simply the outward expression of an inner conviction. Think of it this way. When you plant a seed in the ground, do you dig it up every day to check its progress? Do you attempt to force the sprout to emerge, to manipulate the leaves into unfurling? Of course not. You plant the seed, you provide the proper conditions, and then you allow the innate intelligence in that seed to do its work. Your desires, your goals, your aspirations, these are seeds you plant in the fertile soil of your consciousness. Your task is not to force them to manifestation through sheer will or endless action. Your task is to plant them properly, to nurture them with your assumption of their fulfillment, and then to allow them to grow and manifest in their own divine timing. This is the art of doing it alone. It is the recognition that you are the gardener of your own mind, the cultivator of our own reality. No one else can plant these seeds for you. No one else can assume the ceiling of their fulfillment on your behalf. This is your sacred duty, your divine right, and your ultimate power. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Wayne, what about the challenges I face? What about the obstacles in my path to this? I say these challenges, these obstacles, they are not what you think they are. They are not external forces conspiring against you. They are not proof of your limitations or your unworthiness. No, my dear friends, these challenges are invitations. They are calls to go deeper into yourself, to strengthen your conviction, to purify assumption. Every obstacle you face is an opportunity to do it alone, to retreat into the workroom of your imagination, and to revise your concept of self. Remember, the outer world can only reflect what you hold in consciousness. If you accept the obstacle as real, if you allow it to shake your conviction, then you give it power over you. But if you recognize it for what it truly is, a shadow, a reflection of past thoughts, then you can dissolve it in the light of your new assumption. This is why I often speak of revision. When you face a challenge or encounter an undesirable circumstance, do not accept it as final. Do not allow it to define your reality. Instead, in the privacy of your imagination, revise the event. See it unfolding as you would have preferred. Feel the relief, the joy, the satisfaction of this revised version. You might ask, but Wayne, how can I revise something that has already happened? To this, I say time is an illusion. The past, present, and future exist simultaneously in the eternal now of your consciousness. When you revise an event in your imagination, you are not changing the past in a linear sense. You are selecting a different version of events from the infinite possibilities that exist in the dimension of consciousness. This is the power of doing it alone. In the solitude of your mind, you can revise any event, reshape any circumstance, and redefine any aspect of your life. The outer world, bound as it is to reflect your inner state, must then rearrange itself to match your new assumption. But let us delve even deeper into this concept of doing it alone. It is not merely about manifesting specific desires or revising unwanted events. It is about a fundamental shift in your understanding of what you are. You see, my beloved, when I speak of doing it alone, I am pointing you towards the realization of your true identity. You are not the limited mortal creature you appear to be. You are not defined by your circumstances, your past, or the opinions of others. You are, in truth, the very essence of creation itself, temporarily focused into this particular point of view. This is why no one else can do it for you. This is why all the self-help books, all the motivational seminars, all the well-meaning advice from friends and family are potentially useful, can never be the source of your transformation. They can point the way, they can offer techniques and insights, but the actual work, the sacred labor of consciousness, can only be done by you alone in the depths of your being. Consider for a moment the story of Moses receiving the 10 Commandments. He did not bring the multitudes with him to the top of Mount Sinai. He ascended alone into the cloud of unknowing to commune with the divine. This story, like all great spiritual allegories, is not about an external historical event. It is about the inner journey that each of us must undertake. You, my dear friend, are Moses. The mountain is your own consciousness. The cloud is the mystery of your own being. And the commandments, they are the laws of your own nature, the principles by which you create your reality. But you must ascend alone. You must enter the cloud alone. You must receive the revelation alone. This solitary journey is not a burden, but a privilege. It is the recognition of your divine nature, your innate creative power. When you truly understand this, when you fully embody this truth, you will never again feel alone in the common sense of the word. For you will know that you are one with the source of all creation, that you are the very substance from which all things are formed. Now, let us consider how this principle of doing it alone applies to your relationships with others. Some of you might worry that this teaching promotes selfishness or isolation. Nothing could be further from the truth. When you learn to do it alone, when you recognize your own divine nature, you become capable of truly loving others. You see, most human relationships are based on need, on the belief that we are incomplete without the other. We seek in others what we believe we lack in ourselves. But when you know that you are complete, that you contain within yourself the fullness of being, then your relationships transform. You no longer approach others from a place of lack or need, but from a place of fullness and love. This is the paradox of doing it alone. It enables you to connect more deeply with others. For when you no longer need others to compete you can appreciate them for who they truly are. You can love them freely without conditions or expectations. You can allow them to be themselves without trying to change them to fit your needs. Consider the sun. Does it shine only on those it deems worthy? Does it withhold its light from those it judges undeserving? No, it shines on all equally, giving of itself freely and abundantly. This is how you will relate to others when you master the art of doing it alone. You will be like the sun, radiating love and creativity, not because you need anything in return, but because it is your nature to do so. But to reach this state, you must first do the inner work alone. You must confront your own shadows, face your own fears, and dissolve your own limiting beliefs. This is not always easy. It requires courage, persistence, and faith. But I assure you, my dear friends, the rewards are beyond anything you can imagine. For when you learn to do it alone, you discover that you are never truly alone. You realize that you are one with the creative power of the universe. You understand that all things are possible to you, for you are the very substance from which all things are formed. This is why I often speak of the state of wish fulfilled. When you enter into the feeling of your wish fulfilled, when you live from the end as if your desire were already a reality, you are doing it alone in the true sense. You are not waiting for external circumstances to change. You are not dependent on the actions or approval of others. You are creating from within, shaping your reality through the power of your assumption. But remember, this is not about forcing or struggling. It is not about willpower in the conventional sense. It is about aligning yourself with the natural creative process of the universe. Just as a seed does not strain to become a tree, you do not need to strain to manifest your desires. You need only to assume the right state of consciousness to feel the naturalness of your wish fulfilled, and then to allow the outer world to reshape itself accordingly. This trust in the process is itself a form of doing it alone, for it requires you to release your attachment to external results, to let go of your need to control the how and when of your manifestation. It asks you to have faith in your own creative power, to trust in the wisdom of your own being. Think of a great artist at work. When they stand before a blank canvas, do they doubt their ability to create? Do they worry about where the paint will come from or how the brushes will move? No, they simply begin allowing the creative impulse to flow through them. They trust in their own artistic vision, in their own creative power. You, my dear friend, are the artist of your own life. Your consciousness is the canvas, your imagination, the brush, and your assumptions, the paint. And like the artist, you must trust in your own creative power. You must have faith in your ability to shape your reality. This faith, this trust is the essence of doing it alone. It is the recognition that all the power you need is already within you. It is the understanding that you are not separate from the creative force of the universe, but are that very force itself focused into this particular point of view. Now, let us address a question that may arise in your minds. Some of you might be thinking, but Wayne, if I am doing it alone, if I am the creator of my reality, why do I sometimes experience unwanted circumstances? Why do I face challenges and difficulties? This is a profound question, and it strikes at the heart of our discussion. The answer lies in understanding the nature of consciousness and the process of creation. You see, your outer world is not created by your conscious thoughts alone. It is shaped by the totality of your consciousness, including your deepest beliefs, your habitual thoughts, and even the aspects of yourself that you may not be consciously aware of. When you experience unwanted circumstances, it is not a failure of your creative power. It is simply a reflection of some aspect of your consciousness that you may not have fully recognized or addressed. This is why doing it alone is so crucial. It requires you to delve deep into your own being, to confront and transform the hidden beliefs and assumptions that may be shaping them in reality in ways you don't consciously intend. Consider for a moment the concept of self-talk, the inner conversations you have with yourself throughout the day. These conversations, often occurring below the level of conscious awareness, are powerful creative forces. They are, in essence, the way you do it alone all the time, whether you realize it or not. If your inner conversations are filled with doubt, fear, or limitation, then these states will be reflected in your outer experience. But the wonderful news is that you have the power to change these conversations. You can consciously choose new thoughts, new assumptions, new inner dialogues that align with your desires. This is not about forced positive thinking or denying the reality of your current circumstances. It is about recognizing that your inner world is the true creative realm, and that by changing your inner conversations, you inevitably change your outer world. Let me share with a technique that I have found particularly powerful in this regard. I call it eavesdropping on your future self. Here's how it works. Imagine yourself in the future, having already achieved your desire. Listen carefully to the conversations you would be having in that state. What would you be saying to yourself? What would others be saying to you? Now, bring those conversations into your present. Begin to speak to yourself as if your desire were already fulfilled. Have imaginary conversations with others where they congratulate you on your success. Feel the naturalness of these conversations, the ease with which they flow. This technique is a powerful way of doing it alone. It allows you to align your inner world with the reality you wish to create regardless of your current circumstances. And as you persist in these new inner conversations, you will find your outer world beginning to shift and change to match your whole. But remember, my dear friends, this is not about escaping reality or Lizzie in a fantasy world. It is about recognizing the true nature of reality itself. What you perceive as the real world is simply the outpicturing of consciousness. By changing your consciousness, you literally change your world. This is why I often say that there is no such thing as fiction. Every story, every imagined scenario exists as a reality in the dimension of consciousness. When you imagine yourself in a desired state, you are not creating something new. You are tuning into an already existing reality, a version of yourself that already possesses what you desire. Your task then is not to create this reality, but to align yourself with it. This alignment happens within you in the privacy of your own consciousness. It is a solitary act, a sacred communion between you and the infinite possibilities that exist within you. This is the deepest meaning of doing it alone. It is the recognition that you are the operant power in your world, that you are the one who selects and animates the particular version of reality you experience. No one else can do this for you. No external power can grant you this ability. It is your inherent nature, your divine birthright. But let us be clear, doing it alone does not mean you must struggle or strain. It does not mean you must cut yourself off from others or reject help when it is offered. Rather, it means recognizing that the primary creative act occurs within you in the realm of your imagination and assumption. Think of it this way when you go to sleep at night. Do you worry about how your heart will continue to beat, how your lungs will continue to breathe? Of course not. You trust in the innate wisdom of your body to carry out these functions without your conscious control. In the same way, when you plant a seed in your consciousness, through imagination and assumption, you can trust in the innate creative power of your being to bring it to fruition. Your role is to plant the seed, to nurture with your faith and expectancy, and then to allow it to grow and manifest in its own divine timing. This allowing, this trust is itself a form of doing it alone. It requires you to release your attachment to external results, to let go of your need to control every aspect of the manifestation process. It asks you to have faith in your own creative power, to trust in the wisdom of your own being. Now, some of you may be wondering, but Wayne, what about action? Don't we need to take action in the world to achieve our goals? This is an excellent question, and it brings us to a crucial point in our discussion. Action is indeed important, but not in the way most people think. You see, inspired action flows naturally from a changed state of consciousness. When you have truly assumed the feeling of your wish fulfilled, when you are living from the end, the appropriate actions will arise spontaneously. You will find yourself naturally doing the things that you desire, manifestation of your desire. This is very different from the common approach of trying to force results through sheer willpower or endless activity. Such forced action often comes from a place of lack or fear, and it rarely leads to lasting fulfillment. Instead, when you do it alone, when you change your state of consciousness first, your actions become effortless expressions of your new state of being. Consider the example of learning a new skill like playing a musical instrument. At first, your actions may feel forced and unnatural. You have to consciously think about every movement, every note. But as you practice, as you begin to embody the state of being a musician, your actions become more fluid, more natural. You no longer have to think about every little movement. The music simply flows through you. This is how manifestation works when you truly understand the principle of doing it alone. You don't force the outer actions. You change your inner state, and the appropriate actions flow naturally from that state. But there's an even deeper truth here, my dear friends. As you advance in your understanding and application of these principles, you may find that less and less outer action is required. For when you are truly aligned with your desire and consciousness, the entire universe moves to bring about its manifestation. This is what I mean when I say that creation is finished. All possible states, all possible versions of reality already exist in the dimension of consciousness. Your task is not to create these realities, but to select and animate the one you desire through your assumption and feeling. This selection, this animation happens within you. It is a solitary act, a sacred communion between you and the infinite possibilities that exist within you. This is why no one else can do it for you. This is why you must do it alone. But remember, doing it alone does not mean you are separate or isolated from the world around you. Quite the opposite. When you master the art of doing it alone, you realize your oneness with all of creation. You understand the entire universe is yourself pushed out, that every person, every circumstance in your life is a reflection of your own consciousness. This realization is profoundly liberating, for it means that you are not at the mercy of external circumstances. You are not a victim of fate or chance. You are the author of your own story, the creator of your own reality. But with this great power comes great responsibility. For if you are the creator of your reality, then you must take full responsibility for your life experience. You can no longer blame others for your circumstances. You can no longer see yourself as a victim of external forces. This responsibility may seem daunting at first, but I assure you it is the key to your freedom. For when you take full responsibility for your life, you reclaim your power to change it. You recognize that if you created your current circumstances through your assumptions and beliefs, you can create new circumstances through new assumptions and beliefs. This is the essence of doing it alone. It is the recognition that you are the operant power in your world, that you are the one who selects and animates the particular version of reality you experience. No one else can do this for you. No external power can grant you this ability. It is your inherent nature, your divine birthright. But let us delve even deeper into this concept. When I say do it alone, I am not just referring to the manifestation of specific desires or the achievement of particular goals. I am pointing you towards a fundamental shift in your understanding of who and what you are. You see, my beloved, you are not the limited mortal creature you appear to be. You are not defined by your body, your circumstances, or your personal history. These are but costumes you wear, roles you play in the grand drama of existence. Your true identity is far greater, far more magnificent than you can possibly imagine. You are, in essence, the very consciousness from which all things arise. You are the dreamer of this dream we call life. When you truly grasp this, when you fully embody this truth, the idea of doing it alone takes on a whole new meaning. For you realize that there is no other to rely on, no external source of power or wisdom to appeal to. You are it. You are all there is. This realization can be both exhilarating and terrifying. It means that you are fully responsible for your experience of life. It means that you can no longer blame others or circumstances for your situation. But it also means that you have the power to change anything and everything in your life. Consider for a moment the implications of this truth. If you are the dreamer of your life, then everything and everyone in your experience is a reflection of your own consciousness. The people you interact with, the circumstances you encounter, the very world you perceive, all of it is you pushed out. This is why doing it alone is so crucial. For if everything is a reflection of your consciousness, then the only place where change can truly occur is within you. Our reflection can only change when you change. But here's the beautiful paradox. When you fully embrace the idea of doing it alone, when you take complete responsibility for your life experience, you also realize your profound connection to all of existence. For if you are the dreamer of your life, and if everything in your experience is you pushed out, then you are in a very real sense everything and everyone. This realization dissolves the illusion of separation. It reveals the underlying unity of all things, and from this place of unity, true love and compassion naturally arise. For how can you not love others when you recognize them as aspects of yourself? This is why the great spiritual teachers throughout history have emphasized self-realization. They understood that true transformation, true liberation can only come from within. They knew that each of us must make this journey alone, must discover our true nature for ourselves. But make no mistake, my dear friends, this journey of self-discovery, this process of doing it alone is not always easy. It requires courage, persistence, and faith. It asks you to question everything you thought you knew about yourself and the world. It challenges you to let go of all beliefs and limitations. There may be times when you feel lost or confused. There may be moments when you doubt yourself. And this teaching, this is natural. It is part of the process. But I urge you to persist, for on the other side of this struggle lies a freedom and a joy beyond anything you can currently imagine. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. While you must do the inner work yourself, you are supported by the very universe you are creating. Every challenge you face, every obstacle you encounter is an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. It is your own higher self calling you to awaken to your true nature. As you continue on this path of doing it alone, you will begin to experience life in a completely new way. You will no longer feel at the mercy of external circumstances. You will no longer seek validation or approval from others. You will stand firm in the knowledge of your own divine nature, your own creative power. From this place of inner certainty, you will find that life begins to flow with an ease and grace you never thought possible. Opportunities will seem to arise spontaneously. Desires will manifest with surprising speed and in unexpected ways. You will experience a deep sense of peace and fulfillment, regardless of outer conditions, but perhaps the most beautiful transformation will be in your relationships with others. As you learn to do it alone, as you discover your own completeness, you will no longer approach relationships from a place of need or lack. Instead, you will come from a place of fullness, of love freely given without condition or expectation. You will see others not as separate entities to be manipulated or controlled, but as beloved aspects of yourself, as unique expressions of the same consciousness that you are. This shift in perception will transform all your relationships, bringing a depth of love and understanding you may have thought impossible. And as you move through the world from this state of consciousness, you will naturally inspire others. Without effort or intention, you will serve as a living example of what is possible. Your very being will be a testament to the power of doing it alone, of taking responsibility for one's own consciousness. But remember, my dear friends, this is not about becoming some perfect, flawless being. It is about embracing all aspects of yourself, including your perceived flaws and weaknesses, for these too are part of the magnificent tapestry of your being, part of the unique way in which the infinite expresses itself through you. Doing it alone means loving all of yourself, accepting all of your experiences as part of your journey of self-discovery. It means recognizing that even your mistakes and failures are opportunities for growth and deeper understanding. As you continue to apply these principles, as you persist in the practice of doing it alone, you will find that your entire perception of life begins to shift. What once seemed solid and fixed will reveal itself to be fluid and responsive to your consciousness. The world will become a living, breathing reflection of your Indian state. You will begin to see that every person, every circumstance, every experience in your life is a gift, a perfectly orchestrated opportunity for you to know yourself more fully, to express your divine nature more completely. Even the challenges and difficulties you face will be recognized as sacred invitations to grow and evolve. This shift in perception, this new way of experiencing life, is the true fruit of doing it alone. It is the realization of your divine nature, the embodiment of your creative power. It is the fulfillment of your purpose as a unique expression of the infinite. But let me be clear, my beloved, the state of consciousness is not some distant goal to be achieved in the future. It is not something you need to strive for or earn. It is your true nature, your natural state of being. It is available to you here and now in this very moment. All that is required is a shift in your assumption, a change in your concept of self. And this shift, this change can only occur within you. It is something you must do alone. So I urge you, my dear friends, embrace this teaching. Take it into your hearts and minds. Test it in the laboratory of your own experience, for it is only through your own direct experience that you will truly understand the power and the beauty of doing it alone. Remember, you are not separate from the creative power of the universe. You are that very power focused into this particular point of view. You are the operant power in your world, the author of your own story, the creator of your own reality. Embrace this truth, live from this understanding, do it alone, and watch as your world transforms before your very eyes. And now, my beloved, as we draw this discourse to a close, I want you to take a moment to reflect on all that we have discussed. Feel the truth of these words resonating within you. Know that you have within you all the power you need to shape your life, to create your reality, to fulfill your deepest desires. Go forth from this place with a new understanding of your true nature, a new appreciation of your creative power. Let every thought, every feeling, every action be an expression of this truth, live from the state of your wish fulfilled, knowing that as you do so, you are shaping the very fabric of your reality. Remember, my dear friends, you are never truly alone, for you are one with the source of all creation, one with the infinite possibility that exists within consciousness. In doing it alone, you align yourself with this infinite power, this boundless creativity. So step boldly into your divine inheritance, claim your rightful place as a conscious creator, as a living expression of the infinite. Do it alone, and in doing so, discover your inseparable oneness with all that is. May your journey be filled with joy, with wonder, and with the deep satisfaction that comes from living in alignment with your true nature. May you always remember the power that lies within you, the divine creativity that expresses itself through you. And above all, may you never forget that you are loved, you are supported, and you are infinitely powerful, for you are God in distribution, experiencing itself through the unique and beautiful expression that is you. Go now and do it alone. Create the life you desire. Be the person you wish to be, for in truth, you already are that person. You need only to recognize and embody this truth. Thank you, my beloved, for your attention, for your openness, and for your willingness to explore these profound truths. May your life be a testament to the power of doing it alone, a shining example of what is possible when we fully embrace our divine nature. And with that, I bid you farewell, knowing that we are never truly separate, for we are all one in the grand tapestry of consciousness. Until we meet again in this form or another, remember you are the operant power. You are the creator, you are divine. Now go forth and do it alone.
As I look upon your faces, I see the light of God shining through each one of you. For you must understand, my dear friends, that you are not merely flesh and blood, but the very expression of the divine imagination. The power that created the universe resides within you, waiting to be awakened and unleashed. But what, you may ask, do we find ourselves trapped in cycles of frustration and disappointment? Why do we struggle to manifest our deepest desires and live the life we know we deserve? The answer, my beloved listeners, lies in the habits we have unconsciously adopted and nurtured over time. These 7 destructive habits are like invisible chains that bind us to a world of shadows and illusions. They are the veils that obscure our true nature and keep us from realizing our infinite potential. But fear not, for tonight we shall learn to recognize these habits and, more importantly, to break free from their insidious grip. Let us begin with the first destructive habit: negative self-talk. Oh, how often we engage in this pernicious practice without even realizing it. We are constantly engaged in an inner dialogue, and for many of us, this dialogue is filled with doubt, fear, and self-deprecation. I'm not good enough. I can't do it. I'll never succeed. These are the poisonous thoughts that pollute our mental atmosphere and create the very limitations we seek to overcome. My dear friends, listen closely, for I'm about to share with you a fundamental truth. Your inner conversations are the secret causation of all that befalls you in life. Every word you speak to yourself, every thought you entertain is a seed planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. And just as surely as a seed grows into a plant, these thoughts will manifest in your outer world. Therefore, to break free from this first destructive habit, you must become acutely aware of your inner dialogue. Catch yourself in the act of negative self-talk and immediately replace those thoughts with affirmations of your divine nature. Instead of "I can't," say "I can." Instead of "I'm not worthy," declare "I am worthy of all good things." Remember, you are not the voice in your head. You are the one who can change that voice. Imagine, if you will, a beautiful garden. Would you allow weeds to grow unchecked, choking out the flowers and fruits you wish to cultivate? Of course not. You would diligently remove the weeds and nurture the plants you desire. Your mind is that garden, and your thoughts are the seeds. Choose wisely what you plant, for you will surely reap what you sow. Now, let's move on to the second destructive habit: living in the past. Oh, how many of us are guilty of this? We replay old hurts, relive past failures, and constantly compare our present circumstances to what once was. But I say to you, my dear friends, the past exists only in your imagination. It has no power over you unless you give it power. You see, time is a construct of the human mind. In the realm of spirit, there's only the eternal now. When you dwell on past events, you're using your God-given power and imagination to recreate those experiences in your present moment. You are, in essence, giving life to shadows and breathing vitality into that which no longer exists. To break free from this habit, you must learn to live fully in the present moment. Embrace the truth that this very instant is the only point of power you have. It is in this moment that you can choose your thoughts, direct your imagination, and shape your future. When memories of past hurts or failures arise, do not fight them or try to suppress them. Instead, thank them for the lessons they brought and release them with love. Say to yourself, "That was then, this is now. I choose to focus on the limitless possibilities that lie before me." Remember, my dear listeners, your past does not define you. You are a being of infinite potential, constantly renewing and recreating yourself in each moment. The person you were yesterday need not be the person you are today. You have the power to reinvent yourself, to shed old identities and limitations, and to step into a new and glorious expression of your divine self. We cannot turn our attention to the third destructive habit, worrying about the future. How this habit robs us of our peace and joy. We spend countless hours fretting about what might happen, creating elaborate scenarios of failure and disappointment in our minds. But I ask you, dear friends, have your worries ever changed the course of events? Have they ever brought you anything but anxiety and distress? Worry is a misuse of the imagination. It is the creation of negative future scenarios that exist only in your mind. When you worry, you are literally imagining what you do not want and impressing those images upon your subconscious mind. And as we have learned, whatever you press upon your subconscious mind must, by law, be expressed in your outer world. To break free from this habit, you must learn to use your imagination constructively. Instead of imagining worst-case scenarios, cultivate the art of positive expectation. See the future as bright and filled with endless possibilities. When concerns about the future arise, ask yourself, what is the best that could happen? Then use your God-given power of imagination to create vivid, emotion-filled images of your desired type. Remember, the future exists only in your imagination. It is a blank canvas upon which you can paint the most beautiful pictures of your life. Why waste this divine gift on creating images of lack, limitation, or failure? Instead, use it to craft a future so wonderful, so filled with joy and abundance that your present self, the present, is filled with excitement and anticipation. My dear friends, understand your imagination is the bridge between your current reality and the life you desire. It is through the faithful use of your imagination that you will cross over from a life of limitation to one of unlimited possibility. Now let's address the fourth destructive habit, comparing yourself to others. Oh, how this habit has stolen the joy and confidence of so many. We look at others' achievements, possessions, or relationships and feel ourselves lacking in comparison. We measure our worth against arbitrary standards set by society or our peers, forgetting that we are unique expressions of the divine. But I say to you, comparison is a thief of joy and a denial of your true nature. When you compare yourself to others, you are forgetting a fundamental truth. There's no one else in all of creation exactly like you. You are a unique and irreplaceable expression of God. Your journey, your gifts, your purpose, to break free from this habit, you must cultivate a deeper appreciation for your own uniqueness. Celebrate your individuality. Rejoice in the fact that you are a one-of-a-kind miracle, a singular note in the grand symphony of creation. Instead of looking at others and feeling less than, look within and discover the vast treasures that lie dormant within you. Remember, my dear listeners, the only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Are you growing? Are you learning? Are you moving closer to the realization of your dreams? These are the questions that matter. Your journey is your own, and it is incomparable to anyone else's. Moreover, when you find yourself admiring qualities in others, instead of feeling envious, recognize that you are seeing a reflection of your own inner potential. For you could not recognize greatness in another if that same greatness did not exist within you. Use these moments of admiration as inspiration to cultivate those qualities within yourself. Let us now turn our attention to the fifth destructive habit, neglecting self-care. How often we push ourselves to the brink of exhaustion, ignoring the needs of our body, mind, and spirit. We live in a world that glorifies business and equates rest with laziness. But I say to you, my dear friends, self-care is not selfish. It is essential. You see your body as the temple of the living God. It is the vehicle through which you experience this earthly journey and express your divine nature. To neglect it is to limit your ability to fully embody and express the infinite power that to break free from this habit, you must learn to honor your body, nurture your mind, and nourish your spirit. This means setting aside time each day for rest, reflection, and rejuvenation. It means feeding your body with wholesome foods, moving it in ways that bring joy and vitality, and giving it the sleep it needs to repair and renew itself. But self-care goes beyond the physical. It also involves nurturing your mind with positive thoughts, uplifting literature, and inspiring conversations. It means taking time for meditation or prayer, connecting with your inner being, and aligning yourself with the infinite wisdom of the universe. Remember, my dear listeners, you cannot pour from an empty cup. By taking care of yourself, you are not being selfish. You are ensuring that you have the energy, vitality, and clarity of mind to be of service to others and to fulfill your divine purpose. Now, let us address the sixth destructive habit, resisting change. Oh, how we cling to the familiar, even when it no longer serves us. We resist change out of fear of the unknown, preferring the discomfort of our current situation to the uncertainty of a new one. But I say to you, my beloved friends, change is the very essence of life. It is through change that we grow, evolve, and become more of who we truly are. You see, the universe is in a constant state of flux. Nothing in nature remains static. The seasons change, the tides ebb and flow, and even the stars in the heavens are in constant motion. Why then do we resist change in our own lives? To break free from this habit, you must learn to embrace change as an opportunity for growth and transformation. Instead of fearing the unknown, cultivate a sense of curiosity and adventure. See, each change is a doorway to new possibilities, a chance to experience more of life's richness and diversity. Remember, my dear listeners, you are not a static being. You are consciousness in motion, constantly renewing and recreating yourself. By resisting change, you are denying your own nature and limiting your potential for growth and expansion. Moreover, understand that all external change is merely a reflection of an inner shift in consciousness. When you change your thoughts, your beliefs, your inner conversations, the outer world must change to reflect this new state of being. Therefore, instead of resisting external changes, focus on creating positive changes within yourself. As you do so, you will find that the outer world naturally aligns itself with your new inner reality. And now, my dear friends, we come to the seventh and final destructive habit. Doubting your own power, this habit is perhaps the most insidious of all, for it undermines everything we have discussed tonight. It is a voice that whispers, "Who am I to dream big dreams? Who am I to think I can change my life?" But I say to you with all the conviction of my being, you are a child of the infinite. You are made in the image and likeness of God. The power that created the universe flows through you at this very moment. To doubt your own power is to doubt the very source of all creation. You see, my beloved listeners, you are not a mere immortal struggling against the forces of the world. You are a divine being temporarily inhabiting a human form. The limitations you perceive are not imposed from without, but from within. They are the result of false beliefs and misconceptions about your true nature. To break free from this habit, you must cultivate an unshakable faith in your own divinity. You must recognize and claim your birthright as a co-creator with God. This doesn't mean becoming arrogant or egotistical. On the contrary, it means embracing a profound humility. The humility to accept that you are indeed an expression of the divine. Begin each day by affirming your true nature. Say to yourself, "I'm one with the infinite power of the universe. All that the Father has is mine. I am limited only by my own imagination, and I choose to imagine greatness." Remember, my dear friends, the power you seek is not something you need to acquire or develop. It is already within you, waiting to be recognized and expressed. Your task is not to become powerful, but to realize and manifest the power that is your very essence. Now, as we come to the close of our time together, I want you to take a moment to reflect on these 7 destructive habits. See how they have played out in your life, how they have limited your expression of your true self, but do not judge yourself harshly for having engaged in these habits. Instead, be grateful for the awareness you now have, for awareness is the first step towards change. From this moment forward, make a commitment to yourself to break free from these habits. Choose to engage in positive self-talk, to live fully in the present moment, to imagine a bright and beautiful future, to celebrate your uniqueness, to prioritize self-care, to embrace change, and to have unwavering faith in your own divine power. Remember, my beloved listeners, this work of transformation is not something you do once and then forget. It is a daily practice, a moment-by-moment choice to align yourself with your true nature. There will be times when you fall back into old patterns, when the old habits reassert themselves. When this happens, do not despair. Simply become aware, make a new choice, and continue on your journey. The path to freedom, to the full expression of your divine nature, is not always easy. It requires courage, persistence, and faith. But I promise you the rewards are beyond anything you can currently imagine. As you break free from these destructive habits, you will find yourself stepping into a life of joy, abundance, and limitless possibility. You will begin to see the world through new eyes, recognizing the hand of God in every aspect of your life. You will feel a deep sense of peace and contentment, a knowing that you are aligning yourself with the infinite wisdom of the universe. And most importantly, you will experience the joy of being fully, authentically yourself, unburdened by the limitations of the past, free to express your divine nature in all its glory. My dear friends, the choice is yours. Will you continue to live bound by these destructive habits, or will you choose freedom? Will you accept the limitations imposed by your past conditioning? Or will you claim your birthright as a divine being? The power to change your life, to break free from these habits, lies within you at this very moment. I urge you, do not delay. Do not wait for some future time when conditions seem more favorable. The time for transformation is now. The power to change is here in this very moment. Seize it with both hands and never let go. As you leave this place tonight, carry with you the knowledge of your true nature. Let it infuse every aspect of your being. Let it guide your thoughts, your words, and your actions. And as you do, watch and wonder as your life begins to transform. Remember, my beloved listeners, you are not bound by your past, by your circumstances, or by the opinions of others. You are bound only by your own imagination. So dare to imagine greatness. Dare to break free from these destructive habits. Dare to claim your divine heritage and to live the life you were meant to live. For in doing so, you not only transform your own life, but you become a beacon of light for others. You demonstrate the truth of what I have shared tonight. You become living proof of the power that resides within each and every one of us. Go forth, my dear friends, and live from the awareness of your true self. Break free from these destructive habits and step into the fullness of your divine nature. The world is waiting for you to shine your light. Do not keep it waiting any longer. And so, with all the love in my heart, I bid you good night. May you go in peace knowing that the power to transform your life lies within you. May you have the courage to break free from these destructive habits and to live as the divine being you truly are. And may your life be a testament to the infinite possibilities that await when we align ourselves with the truth of our being. Remember, my dear listeners, imagination creates reality. What you assume, you become. Therefore, assume the best about yourself and your life. Assume that you have the power to break free from these destructive habits. Assume that a life of joy, abundance, and fulfillment is your natural state of being. For in assuming these things, you make them your reality. As you leave this place tonight, I want you to carry with you a powerful tool for transformation. It is a simple technique, but when practiced faithfully, it has the power to revolutionize your life. I call it the I remember when technique. This is how it works. Whenever you find yourself slipping back into one of these destructive habits, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath and say to yourself, I remember when I used to engage in negative self-talk. How wonderful it is now that I speak to myself with love and kindness. Or I remember when I used to worry about the future. How freeing it is now that I trust in the perfect unfolding of my life. You see, by using the phrase, "I remember when," you are placing the destructive habit in the past. You are creating a new story for yourself, one in which you have already overcome these limitations. And as you continue to tell this new story, your subconscious mind will align itself with this new reality. This technique harnesses the power of your imagination in a profound way. It allows you to step into the feeling of having already achieved the change you desire. And as we know, feeling is the secret. When you can feel the reality of your Zaid state, you magnetize it into your experience. So, my dear friends, use this technique daily. Use it whenever you catch yourself slipping into old patterns. Use it to reinforce your commitment to breaking free from these destructive habits. And as you do, you will find yourself naturally and effortlessly embodying the change you seek. Now, as we truly come to the close of our time together, I want to leave you with one final thought. The journey we have discussed tonight, the journey of breaking free from destructive habits and claiming your divine nature, is not just about personal transformation. It is about nothing less than the transformation of the world. You see, as you break free from these habits, as you step into the fullness of your being, you change the entire fabric of reality. Your transformation ripples out, touching the lives of all those around you. You become a living example of what is possible when we align ourselves with our true nature. Imagine, if you will, a world in which every person recognized their divine nature, a world in which negative self-talk was replaced by self-love, where worry was replaced by trust, where comparison was replaced by celebration of uniqueness. Imagine a world in which everyone prioritized self-care, embraced change, and had unwavering faith in their own power. This, my dear friends, is the world we are creating together. Each time you choose to break free from a destructive habit, you are contributing to this new world. Each time you choose love over fear, trust over worry, self-care over neglect, you are helping to usher in a new era of human consciousness. So go forth from this place, not just as individuals seeking personal transformation, but as agents of global change. Know that your personal journey of breaking free from these destructive habits is part of a larger movement, a collective awakening to our true nature. And remember, my beloved listeners, you are never alone on this journey. The same power that flows through me flows through you. The same divine intelligence that orchestrates the movements of the stars guides your every step. Trust in this power. Lean into it. Allow it to support you as you break free from these destructive habits and step into the fullness of your being. As you leave this place tonight, carry with you the knowledge that you are infinitely loved, infinitely supported, and infinitely powerful. You have within you everything you need to break free from these destructive habits and to create a life beyond your wildest dreams. So go now, my dear friends, and live from the depths of your being. Break free from these destructive habits and allow your light to shine brightly in the world. For in doing so, you fulfill your divine purpose and contribute to the healing and transformation of all humanity. May your journey be filled with joy and wonder and the thrill of discovering the limitless potential that lies within you. And may you always remember that you are, in every moment, a perfect expression of the divine. Good night, my beloved friends. Until we meet again, may you walk in the awareness of your true nature, free from the bonds of destructive habits, and fully aligned with the infinite power of the universe. The world awaits your light. Shine brightly and never look back.